guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited to bring you my 2016 Pan That Palette finale video. So I had 3 palettes in my project originally. One I finished a while ago, but I thought I would just bring it back for the finale. So this is the Smashbox Blue Eyes palette. I started painting this in January and I quickly realized that the quality of these shadows was terrible. They kind of were really muddy, they faded, they also blended away to almost nothing, like they just weren't working for me and it wasn't worth painting them. So I only ended up painting 2 of the 6, and then I just really wanted to see an empty palette, so I just kind of threw the rest of them away so I could see this. So I showed this after I was done with them, but thought I would just show it again for the finale video. I will have my playlist linked down below of all my Pan That Palette videos if you're interested in seeing how I progressed over time, but this one was done a while ago and I'm happy to have it out of my collection. So my next palette was my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. I've been painting this for 2 years now. I got it in September of 2014. And 2 months after I got it, I dropped it into my sink and 2 of the powders broke. So that's why I decided to start painting it in 2015. So there's 3 powders in here. In 2015, I panned the Radiant Light one, as well as all the parts that had broken off of Dim Light that I had in a little jar. And then I worked on Incandescent Light all year. And then this year I have been working on those 2, what was left of Dim Light and Incandescent Light, which is the only one that didn't break, I think. Or did it break? Dim Light was the only one that didn't break, just kidding. So I finished up all the crumbles of Incandescent Light in 2015 and then worked on what was left this year. So this is where I'm at right now. So I really wanted to finish off Dim Light this year, but I didn't quite make it, but there really isn't a lot left. It's very, very flat, very thin, so I see progress almost every time I use it. I just haven't been wearing a full face of makeup every day, and I have started using this a little bit when I'm not wearing foundation just to add a little glow, and I think it works well that way. But I took a kind of a big break from wearing face makeup this year. The break started probably in July or August, and I really didn't get back into it until maybe the end of September, October, and I still don't wear it every single day. I do my eyes every single day, but I still haven't been wearing face makeup every single day, although I've gotten better and better at going back to that, just because it helps me make more progress and it just makes me feel better in general, I guess. Like I'm dressed on my face for the day instead of wearing pajamas all day. Does that make any sense? I don't know. But, so I'm not quite done with Dim Light, but I'm really, really close. So I definitely could have finished it off if I had not taken that long break this year, but, oh well. It is what it is, and I'm sure it'll be done very, very soon in 2017. And then Incandescent Light, I mostly just rub my brush kind of right on the edge right here, so, I mean, it definitely looks like I've made progress over the course of the year, but there's still a ton left. So I have no idea how much longer this is going to last me, but I do really like it as an everyday highlight because it's more subtle. That's the way I use it, and I do like it that way. So this, I'm pretty happy with how I did considering my makeup break on this palette this year. I would have loved to see Dim Light gone, but unfortunately it's just going to take a little bit longer. I'm sure by the end of January it'll be gone for good. And then my third and final palette this year was a face palette, another face palette. It was the How About Them Apples palette by The Balm. So there's 6 blushes in here. I finished Cider a long time ago when I first got this palette. I think it was definitely the first blush I've ever finished, and maybe one of the first things I ever panned completely, to be honest. And then there was a shade in here called Crisp that had a lot of glitter in it, and I was filming a video one day and it fell out of the palette and I didn't like it anyway, so I just threw it away because I never would have panned that one anyway. And then I finished Caramel earlier this year, and so I just had Cobbler, Pie, and Candy left in my last update. They all had pan on them. They were all pretty close to being done, and I'm throwing this away even though I didn't completely finish it because it's just going bad. I can tell. I've had this way past the expiration date. And yeah, it has a 1-year expiration date. I've had it for probably 2.5 years. So this is how far I ended up getting. So I did finish off candy in the past, or since my last update. I'm not quite sure when I filmed that one, about a month ago probably. And then I mostly worked on cobbler, I think. I maybe used pie a few times, but I really put my effort into cobbler because I really like kind of more red blushes in this time of year. So I did that. So there is just, you know, a little bit left of both of those. Once again, if I hadn't taken my makeup break kind of for a good part of this year, I know I could have finished off this palette completely, but these are getting just to be kind of gross. You can kind of see there's some cracks sort of in pie, but then when I touch them with my finger, or I've been using a Q-tip actually just because it's easier to get at, they get kind of oily, like they're kind of maybe separating. I don't really know, but I'm really happy with how I did on this palette. I definitely feel like I got my money's worth, even though there's a little bit left of these two and I didn't actually use this one up. I really enjoyed this palette. If you're interested in cream blushes, I think this is a really great deal. I forgot how much it was, maybe $36 or something like that. I think I got mine from Birchbox and I got maybe 20% off or something like that. But if you get this, especially the balm, you can get 50% off a lot of the time. If you get this for 50% off, I think it's definitely worth it. The only one I didn't like I said, was Crisp. It was just so glittery. Even when you blended it out, it was just almost all glitter and almost no color. So I didn't like that at all. But these two were definitely my favorite. Cider was kind of a peachy color, and Caramel, it looked brown in the pan, but was more of a rose color on your cheeks. And then these ones look really bright, but if you used a tiny amount and blended them out, it looked really nice, and I like the red one as well. So I'm happy to say goodbye to this palette. So that is it for 2016's Pan That Palette project. I will have my photos at the end of this video. I think what I'll do is I'll put the January photo, then last month, and then this month, so you can kind of see from the beginning of the year to now, and then also how I did in the last month. I am going to do another one of these projects in 2017, so stay tuned for the introduction video for that. And that is it for this video, so thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Bye!